going to be doing today is the 4th test route, moving off from Hull Test Centre. 4th complete test route in Hull. So, if we're moving off from this side where we're facing the test centre, okay, always make sure that we, get a little bit of engine revs and biting point before we move off, because it is on a slight incline. Okay. Anyone else around you, pop a signal on. Okay. And show that examiner that you really, you're aware of your surroundings. Keep your discipline as you're coming out. Make sure don't go too near this left-hand side curb with the little signpost on. Make sure you come out slightly before you start turning, okay? And say you're stuck in a queue of traffic. Here, there's other people moved off. I would try and stay a nice little bit behind them, okay? Until you can kind of get to where that upside down triangle is. Okay, you give way, Sam. Okay, and then make sure you don't roll backwards. Make sure you give it nice and plenty of amount of revs, getting that biting point and moving off until you can get up to this point. Now I've gone really nice and slowly and just allowed the car to creep forward. I'm leaning forward, I'm leaning backwards to look down the road, leaning forwards to look to the right hand side, and you don't necessarily have to stop, okay? Just nice and controlled. At the end of the road, and we're going to be turning left. And then I'm going to be going right. Nice and slow as I'm approaching. Down into first, okay, and rolling out if I can do. And if this is that you're going right, go into this right hand side position straight away. Again, as I'm approaching the roundabout, I'm off the gas, I'm covering my brake and clutch. I'm slowing the car down beforehand, bringing it to a nice 2-3 miles an hour as I'm approaching. Okay? It's a lot easier to get going again if you're already still moving. Right, third exit, mirrors, and then they might say, take the next road on your left. Okay. Make sure you cancel your signal beforehand as you're coming off the roundabout, and then reapply after your mirror checks. Okay, so they might get you to pull up at the side of the road just down here, okay, and then actually move off and do a controlled stop. Or any other manoeuvre that they want you to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to be following the road signs towards Beverley and York. So they may get you to pull up just anywhere down here, okay, or just near Hull Exhaust Centre on my left, in front of me, and somewhere nice and safe. Now, right in the middle of here, just about there would be safe enough, okay? And don't try and park too close to the junctions or whatever. So if they said go right and then follow the signs towards Beverley and York, because there's no signs until we get to the next roundabout. Nice and easy as we're approaching. And can't see any signs at the moment. It is to your right. The first sign that we see just on our left hand side is Beverley and York on the right. So mirror checks, don't signal until you're passing that exit before goals, old goals. Stay next to that roundabout, to the white lines. And again, go in when you can do. If you need to, pop that handbrake on, get your gas set, get your biting point ready as that, as that gap approaches. So as the gap approaches, go for the gap. like that car just went in front of me. Try and get, as you're going, you know, smooth off as that car's going from in front of you. Again, I've done, you know, a number of roundabout, you know, videos on Bankside roundabout and such like that. So, you know, please search for those, or I'll try and pin them in the description. So, as we're coming up to this next roundabout, B&Q to my left hand side, Pets at Home in front of me, going into that left hand side lane, Beverley, you can use the middle lane. It's a lot easier if you can use this left hand side lane because you're farthest away from the roundabout and it gives you more time. There is a vehicle approaching that right hand side lane, like this car here, and it's, you know, near to the hatch markings. Please don't go. It could come off into your lane. If there's something coming from your right hand side, you don't go. It doesn't matter what lane it's in, it doesn't matter. Don't go. So we're going Beverley and York. Now, you might miss the signpost. It is straight in front of you as you're just passing Ann Watson Street here. Okay, Stoneford Road Trade Centre. It's saying straight on. Now, they might get you to, you know, go a different way if it's on sat-nav or whatever. We're going straight on. Again, wait until you hit the sign before you get to 40, before you increase your speed. Did what I did just then, went a bit over the speed limit. They might give you a minor driving fault for speeding. Try and get to 40 miles an hour if you can do. Okay. Up in the road ahead, we're going to be turning left. That's what the signpost saying to us. The signs are saying left into next roundabout. Slowing it down nice and early, slowing down before the bend into third, and we can just keep on going here. I've been reckon about 20 miles an hour in third gear, easing off again as we're approaching the bend, okay, and then back on the gas as we start going around the bend. Cancelling your signal. Again, getting up to 40 miles an hour as soon as you can do. Making sure, keeping an eye out on the right hand side of you, making sure no one's zooming up the right hand side and cutting in front of you there. Yeah. The arrows that point in mean that they're supposed to get into your lane. If they're in front of you, then just, and they start signalling, then just back off the gas and let them come in. But if they're behind you, then really they should be kind of coming in behind you, not trying to beat you to the line. Next roundabout, it's right. Make sure you get down to the 30 miles an hour before this sign, okay? And moving over into that right hand side lane. Okay, we're going to go past first exit, mirror, checked everything as we're passing second exit, signal. As we can do, moving back over into that left hand side lane. Should be nobody on your left hand side. That's what we're doing our mirror checks for. Being aware of anybody approaching this crossing. Beverley and York, straight on, second exit. Now, one of the common things that can occur here is that people cut over the white line in the middle of the road, or the middle of the lanes. Okay. As I'm coming around, keeping an eye out for the vehicles on the right hand side of me, coming over towards these white lines just on the left hand side, staying in, and then next to the curb, okay, and getting your normal road position of about a metre away, car door width away from the curb. Wait until you get to the 40 sign, and then pick your speed up. Down here, it's handy to note that sometimes you get people flashing headlights at you. Doesn't necessarily mean you've done anything wrong, but this is a prime place for speed cameras to be. Such like just here, this is police vehicles only. They are catching people speeding. You're not speeding? No issue. But again, them flashing their headlights does not mean that you've done anything wrong. Now, as we're approaching this next roundabout, this is one of the ones that is a problem for a lot of people. The sign's telling you it's second left, okay? Stay in the left lane. You can use the middle lane, it just overcomplicates things. Stay in the left-hand side lane, okay? Stay next to, not like the white vehicle which is in between the two light lines, stay on the left-hand side. Slowing it down if you can't see, slow it right down into first. And as we're getting into this roundabout now, okay, as we start going, we're back over towards this island on the left. Signalling as you're passing the island. Don't signal beforehand. If you signal beforehand and another car starts coming out of there, you're done for. Okay? They mark down as signals, they're misleading signals, or signals timing. And we're going to be going straight on at this next roundabout. I don't know if you can see me, but as I'm approaching these roundabouts, you know, I'm doing my mirror checks nice and early, and I'm looking at the mirror. You don't have to go mirror signal. You can just go, right, I'm approaching the roundabout, I want to check what's going on behind me. So if the vehicle's quite close behind me, I can start easing off the gas. I can maybe use my brake a little bit, just to tap it a little bit to slow them down and make them see the brake lights. Then I can check my left-hand side mirror. You still check both mirrors, but you do a mirror check, concentrate on what's going on in front of you, slowing down that little bit, maybe do another mirror check, and then do a quick mirror check to the left-hand side. At this point, before now, they've told you basically you're no longer following the road signs, and they'll give you directions and going left here. And as we're coming back down Bev Road, I'm going to leave that there at the first part. I'll see you back for part 2 shortly.